Hello, hello? Can anybody hear me? Alright, there we go. That's good. Let's move the mic a little bit closer to my face. Just a little bit. Alright. Oh, that's not what I want.
Let's dance, darling. Time to operate.
My button's fucked up? Oh no, okay. Alright. Man, Cerebella really do be having some trash palettes. Let's pop out the chat also. If we can. Can we pop out chat? Is there no more pop out chat? Oh, deadass, there's no more pop out chat? That's crazy. Oh, here it is. Cool. Alright, that should be good. Should be a little bit more manageable. Stream is live, so let me just post that in the Discord. Alright. If anyone who's watching right now can let me know how the audio is, I would appreciate it. You know, just so can you hear my voice? Can you hear the game? All that good shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, anyone in the, alright, cool. Thank you, MLB Blackjack. Making sure the game's not like overpowering my voice. What the? Oh, that does combo. I was wondering if that combo. It's so much intensity though. Alright. Furry. Dude just said furry for no reason. Man, this is a Skullgirls chat room. God damn. Alright. So yeah, I'll just give it another like 5 minutes or so, or a couple minutes. I don't know how long, because it's just with only one person watching right now. So I mean, if one person's watching, that's what it is. But I want to, since this is a lab stream, you know, and people had questions that they wanted answered, I would, you know, it'd be good to have those people, what's it called, in the chat watching the stream when their questions are answered. If you know, if my explanation is not good enough, or you know, if they need follow up, if I need to expound on something, if I'm not explaining something well, it's just good to have whoever asked the question there. What up, Dry Trap? 3 Yo's. That's what it's about. Let's see if I can hit this big band link one time real quick. Nope. Oh, that's not it. No, it needs to... Yeah, that's just so hard. Or is it lights only? Not playing Beowulf in 2020. Yeah, it's like, deadass, if you're not playing Beowulf or Peacock, like, you know, you're losing that character, so like, that's just the way it is. Yeah, I'm trying to do that weird, what's it called, solo H brass conversion, like the one where you go like that, but I never practiced it like that much, and so I don't remember how it goes, or if it was even lights only. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah. Whatever. Explain JMK loop for a band. Yeah. I mean, doing it on lights is easier because like you can do other things, but yeah, like because the main thing is when I do H brass combos, I do it with this team because this is set up for band with an assist, and then you can do double brass combos, which are fucking like so much damage. Like look at this shit. 2 strings, you just did 6k, and are now about to OTG. Like, and you haven't even like cashed out like your multi hits or anything. But yeah, so that's like that I get a lot. Like it's super good. That's so. I saw a question about JMK loops. So I guess we can talk about that while people are still streaming in, and then I'll answer kind of the questions that have been submitted. I think they're submitted throughout the week. I don't actually know how those questions come in, but so the thing to understand about band's jump medium kick. So the jump medium kick has 2 components, right? You press it, does that. You press it again, does the dick twirl. Yeah, and so when you do it, it suspends you in the air a lot. So this stops your air momentum, right? So like I'm falling, and now I'm not, right? So you see, like if I do this, I just fall. But then if I do this, it doesn't. And so then also, if you notice, this actually, since it's a multi-hit, this has a lot of hit stop. It used to be a lot more. These combos used to take like a full-on like 2 or 3 extra seconds to do, and Mike didn't like it, so he decreased the hit stop on it. But if you notice, that kind of just goes pretty fast as opposed to like, so I stay in the air for a while just because the time it takes to hit parasol is a decent amount. Now the next thing about this is that after you've done it once in a combo, that air stall property gets decreased. So, let me just think of how to do this. So if you do... See, I stay in the air long enough, and so I'm able to get that jump fierce. Whoops. Oh, man, yeah, you really gotta just do this. I'm not used to not doing it off brass. So I have enough time to get that jump fierce off, right? But if I go for it again... See, I can't really get a brass off, or that fierce off, because you actually start falling during it. And if I do it a 3rd time, he'll fall even faster, and it'll actually like, cause him to fall as you do it. So there's 3 levels to the jump medium kick second part. It's the stall. There's the one where you fall, and then there's one where you fall even faster. The super duper optimal combos do jump medium kick 3 times. I haven't practiced them, so I won't really be able to show you a practical application of them right now, but just take my word for it, I guess. You can see examples online if you search it up. Goddamn. I'm really trying to like slow this down to show it, but I usually just do this combo fast as shit. Okay, and so yeah, let's go into that. So what the fuck just happened there? Let's go into how that works. So normally, if you do this, God damn, I'm really trying to slow it down to show, but like, God, I really just gotta do this fast. God damn. Please forgive me, I haven't played this game in a while, so I'm trying to remember how to do all this shit. See, you see there? I'm not able to get this. Like, if I try to do that second rep of the jump medium kick, and do it, like I just don't land in time, right? Like how the fuck are you supposed to do that? If you see, even we can go by the frame data. Whoops. Oh wow, that one actually linked because I did that clean enough, but typically you don't. But you see the frame data, so plus 14, which is good, but you land way late, so it's actually a really annoying link, and for certain combos where you want to get even more damage, it's even harder. Like on lights, right, they don't fall as fast, so they won't reach the ground as well, so you need to actually do extra buttons to get them all the way down. See there, I'm only plus 5, right, and this is 6 frames. So I would never be able to get that. I would never be able to get that into this, because this is typically, you do the loops into your last string, right? So you get all the damage. Whoops. So, So what you actually need to do is you do this. And see, now I'm plus 15. And if you see in my input commands right before I let go of down back, you see that there's a fierce in there. And that jump fierce, actually, so you see this? It kind of, so Big Man's doing this. Fuck. How do I get... You see how his body kind of straightens out when he does that out of the jump medium kick? His body kind of straightens out. So that lets him touch the ground faster. That's what's called a fast fall in this game. Completely different from, if anyone's familiar with Smash, completely different from a Smash fast fall. It's just a property of certain buttons that they'll extend your character's collision box downwards and make them hit the ground faster, so even without the move coming out, so that you actually gain plus frames. Affiliate has this a lot too. I believe Eliza has a few, Parasol has a few. Parasol has one, actually, as far as I know. But those are the practical ones that I know of. Fukua has one, but you never use it because it doesn't actually let you get anything. Painwheel actually has one also, but so if anyone has questions about those, I can show them. But so because of that, I'm able to get... And that's how that combo works. And if you want to see it in context, it's... I actually missed a hit there. This should be doing like about 50 extra damage or so. I missed the first hit of this, which, as you see, does the majority of the damage. But so yeah, that's kind of the easy jump. That's the easy version of that. There are really optimal combos where you actually do this multiple times, because after you do beat extend, right, you're at max scaling, right? So that's when you want to unload your multi-hits, and this is Big Band's only real multi-hit besides this. But since it's a light, you can only use it once, maybe twice in a combo, right? And obviously the medium's a lot more hits and does more damage being a medium and all that. So the really optimal combos use that like 3 times or so. Most Big Band combos that you should be expected to know to do if you play Big Band, do it twice. Because yeah, like if you're still doing this combo in 2020, like I don't know what to tell you. Or I don't even remember how to do it, Jesus Christ. But I know this is like the one that most people learn, but... so if you're still doing this combo, try to break yourself of that habit, because for just like a little bit extra effort, you can open up a lot of yourself. Because this combo also, this combo here isn't very good for resets either, because you use your Undizzy in like really weird ways. Although you can do this, which is good. Not against Philia. Philia specifically, this isn't very good against, but the OTGO's combo is garbage. I straight up don't know how to do the OTGO's combo to this day because I hate it. Yeah, so if you want to learn Big Band optimized, not optimal combos, there's one that works on lights that's really easy, and then, so what I do, there's one I use for lights, and there's one I use for non-lights. And the non-lights one is this one. Ah, fuck, I fucked it up. But you get the idea. What you missed is... Right, okay, so that's the string I missed after beat extend. Imagine I did that after beat extend. I don't feel like doing it again. So yeah, those are the Big Band combos I do. They're decent. They do enough damage. They do like 8k without meter. It's not great. It's not great. I think you can get like 8-7 meterless with Big Band in the corner off of a light starter, but yeah, and they're way better for Undizzy usage too. Like that's really good, because again, against characters without air supers, because you do that, or you do that, you know, to dissuade them. The only thing that's not great about it is there's no real burst bait option to it. Right, that doesn't burst, and this isn't a real burst bait. Right, that doesn't actually work. So, but if you want to do burst baits with Big Band, you do the Vortex. What characters do you play? Also, if you want to at me, I'm not on the stream account, so if you want to at me, this is me. Right here, show you ramen. So that'll get my attention. That's probably the best way to contact me. If you have something really urgent, you can DM me on Discord, because I do have that open. But make sure you DM me or at me, so that I see it. But yeah, adding me is the best way to get my attention. Now, for who I play, I am known as a Fuqua big band player. That's how most people know me. But I don't really play this game competitively anymore. So I kind of just play 3 teams. I play this team you see right now in this order: Big Band, H-Bomb, Carpenter's Axe. I can just actually show you guys my macros. This is probably a better way. So this is the team that I'm known for. This is my main team. Anyone who knows about me knows me as the guy who plays this team. The team that I probably get the best results with right now, again, I'm way worse than I used to be, is this team. Also known as this team. These are the same team. And this team is bad. I think both the teams I play are actually quite bad, or all 3 of them. But they're just who I like to play because, again, I don't play competitively anymore, so I'm just trying to have fun. And then I also play this team because I like playing big band, and a big band point team is something that I like philosophically, even though I know it's a terrible idea for many reasons. This team's probably the worst out of all the teams I play. And then when I'm like really fucking around, I sometimes play this team. I would like to work on this team. I think this is actually the best team in the game, but not with these assists. These assists are probably wrong, actually. But I'd like to learn how to play this team. This is a variation of Chuck and Plasma's team, but I just don't put the time into the game anymore to learn. And I've also been playing some Parasol Painwheel. Kenji, show me the Eliza tech. I do not know how to play Eliza. I don't even do her corner combo in real games because I just don't have it in my fingers. I do the really basic 50-50 B&B that you can actually get out of by mashing. And like that's it. And I do the mid-screen like combo that does no damage. I play Eliza for the assist. Like I do not know any Eliza anything. If you want to see the big band stuff with her, it's kind of cool. I'm sure you've played against this Hinze. I still don't know how to pronounce your name correctly. But like round start, the classic round start, you just do that, and it's really hard to deal with, although there is ways to deal with it. And then also, you combo into hard knockdown, and then you have an armored assist that's directional, so this is really fucking annoying to deal with. And also, then you can just not use it in your reset, and then you get fuck off damage. Yeah. 9.8 for whatever meter it takes to use this assist. So you can do this at 0 meter. So yeah, like a third of a meter, you get 9.8. Really good. I hear a lot about Bayo Band set play. Does anyone have a link to a guide on it? I don't think there's any guides on it. If you want to know what it's like, watch Rapple or Severin play. They play that. It's crazy. Eliza Sekhmet assists use meter. So the ones you'll see are, because there's only 3 possible, but you'll never see the light one. So Butcher's and Carpenter's Axe, which I use. Butcher's is the one where she does the multi-hits. The ah-ha-ha-ha. But I like using this one because it's directional, meaning that it's overhead, which is sick. And it's armored, so again, like Big Band has the best use of hard knockdown. Is the easiest to get hard knockdown with. So you use that, and then it's like, okay, you gotta guess, but if you reversal and you're wrong, then you fucking, like, you don't win. Like, you can't just reversal out of it, because I have an armored assist. Even if you trade a lot of times, I'm able to pick up. So that's the good part about this team. And then I have H-Bomber because I don't know what else to do, and I'd like a safe DHC. So let's get to the channel questions now. Again, if you have questions throughout the stream, just put them in chat. If something's more urgent or I'm not answering correctly, just at me. But how can I deal with command grab vortexes as solo Parasol? Huh. The reason I'm saying huh here is that this is a really malformed question. Okay, let me just think of... Sorry for the silence. I'm just trying to think of how to explain this without being, like, super ridiculously mean about it. Because, like, obviously, this is a question that kind of comes from an experience. Obviously, that's why you're asking questions to a stream. So I'm just trying to think of, like, a nice way to put this. Because I think my immediate response was kind of dismissive, and that's not a great way to answer this question. So... I'm trying to, like, come up with a good, So, when you say command grab vortexes, first of all, there's not, like, command grab vortexes aren't, like, a type of thing in this game, so I don't know what you mean, because that could mean a whole lot of different things, like, do you mean this? Like, do you mean that? Like, I don't, you know what I mean? It's like, you could do... Like, I don't know, like, do you mean that? Do you mean, like... Because that's technically a command grab vortex, but, like, it's not really. Like, that's not really, like, a vortex. Do you mean Cerebella? Because she does have them. I really can't do them. Do you mean Fukua? Like, she kind of has them. Like, do you mean Beowulf? Because, like, there's no such thing as, like, command grab vortexes as a type of thing in this game, so, like, I can't guess at what you're having trouble with, like, because I'm assuming that means you're having trouble with a certain character's vortexes. Because if you want to learn how to deal with a vortex, you need to learn how to deal with the vortex. There's no such thing as, like, dealing with vortexes in this game. There's knowing the options that your opponent has, and if anyone's just doing a vortex to you, you just need to work on, like, one, not being predictable with how you're defending, and two, reacting to everything, because most people will slip up, and they'll do reactable shit even in a vortex, so... I'm saying the word vortex a lot, and it's giving me, like, Shemai Vu. So, like, that, that's what I mean, but, like, if you're talking about, like that, like, I don't, you know, like, that's different. Like, are you talking about, like, that, you know, I don't really know. You know, you could be talking about, like, this, you know. Is that what you mean by command grab vortex? I really don't know, so... That's, like, the hard part for me, is to kind of understand what you're, you know, like, are you talking about, whoops. Why does that keep coming out? I'm, like, literally, that's weird. I've never gotten that input messed up before. You know, you could be talking about that. But, regardless, so... Getting out of vortexes, I guess I'll talk in general. And what do we mean when we say vortex is that it's any sort of, like, real set play that... So it's a reset that you see a lot that, like, makes a cornerstone of set play, typically, like the double vortex, and things like that. The double left-right vortex off of jump roundhouse, and, or the that one, you know, that people know about. Can you really not combo that? Or am I just fucking that up? Yeah, I am fucking that up. I don't play Cerebella. Jesus, I'm bad. But yeah, you guys know what I mean. You guys know about that. So there's that one, you know, because Bella can just go cross up low, she can go overhead, you know, she can throw you. You know, she can do all that shit. If I played Bella, I'd be able to show you. Or, you know, for me, this one, right? You can do a lot here, so, yeah. This is low. Whoops. This is throw. You know. Whoops. You know, there's that. There's that. So getting out of those is just being familiar with them. Like, anyone who sees this for the first time, right, like, isn't going to defend against this very well. Like, they might up back, but, like, that'd just be totally off of a guess. And so, like, I would be very surprised if anyone for the first time saw it and blocked that, right? Like, that's a gimmick, by the way. That's not a real... Like, if you get hit with that reset twice, I'd have no respect for you. But, like... So, just knowing what your opponent's options are is kind of the key here. Because, like, once you see that, like, this is totally reactable, right? But, like, see, I fuck that up, and then, you know, you don't have to block cross-up, and my actual, like, low options there are kind of shitty. Or even here, too, right? So, like, you gotta know, okay, I actually fucked that up. That height, at that height, you can actually, up forward out of that reset. Or, or even neutral jump. But then if I do it cleaner, right, like that, see, that even combos, so that, like, that's when I'm fucking up. See, so like that, you can up forward out of. So like you need to know, like, when do you have to actually hold your dome, when can you mash, you know. Or if you're playing Filia, right, can you, whoops, that's gonna be a block, yeah. If you're playing Filia, right, like, what of these things can you Gregor out of, right? I'm not playing Big Man, but like, you know, it's like, can you Gregor out of that? Can you Gregor out of this? You know, it's just being familiar with it, you know, and so it, getting out of command grab vortexes, means that, all it means is you can't throw tech, like the throw option, but if you're asking this question, I'm assuming you're not good enough to consistently throw tech on reaction. So that just means up back is like, up back or up forward if you're making a really hard read, but a lot of good vortexes have cross-up stuff in it, so up forwarding is a pretty risky proposition in a lot of those cases. So, like, up backing is just good in those, or mashing. Almost no command grab beats mashing except for, like, this one, but you have other problems there. But, like Beowulf one, like, might sometimes, like, if you really fuck something up, but most command grabs don't beat mashing, right? That's why I say there's down backing and there's mashing, because this will beat lows, which typically, you know, don't put you. But like this, you need to exit hit stun, and then like these have 7 frame startup, right? Usually 7 frames, 8 frame startup. How much does this have? 10. Yeah, right. So like, there's no reversal, because to be reset into a throw, you need to exit. You know, you need to exit hit stun, right? And you can't be in block stun either. So like you have to be in an actionable state. And so like usually mashing gets you out of command grab resets. Of course, you know, mashing comes with this ridiculously high risk. So, you know, that there's many reasons to not mash. It's typical. That's just standard fighting game stuff about why you don't mash, especially in this game. But you know, if you're playing like Beowulf with the chair on, like, go ahead and mash. Although his isn't grab invulnerable, so that's a bad example. But if you're playing like Filia with 5 meter, yeah, try it, you know. But yeah, up backing and mashing are how you get out of most command grabs. Big band sometimes will not, because there can be like weird things, and they're actually player specific. Also, there's a certain setup Fukuwa can do where you will command grab a reversal SSJ if you're player 1, but not if you're player 2, and things. But that is a super niche case. If you're, you know, there's like no Fukuwas left anymore, so who cares? Yeah, and if you have safe DHCs also, that's another good point. Then, you know, you're mashing is less safe. But yeah, dealing with command grabs is up backing and mashing, but I'm assuming you knew that. So dealing with vortexes that contain command grabs is more just knowing what your options are. So yeah. Did I miss any questions here? Nope. Okay, good. What are good round start options with Eliza? Good reset points? So, plug for Pleasure's book. Pleasure's Guide's still pretty good. I feel like it's missing a lot of stuff that I would want as an Eliza player, but to get started, I think it's really good. The problem is it doesn't show like her really insane resets, like the ones he uses all the time in games. Like, it never showed, which is a shame. I don't know if he plays anymore. Miss you, Pleasure. You my boy. Let's hang out again, because I'm going up to NorCal soon again, so hit me up, Pleasure, if you see this, which you probably won't, but, you know. But fucking, I'm not an Eliza player, so I'm not a great person to ask this question to, but also, trick for you guys. If you hold down the tag button for that character, they will come out at the start of offline games. So this is even if you're playing like a tournament match offline, you can change what character you start with by holding the tag. So that's tournament legal. You to change the order even on a win, because you can do it from the round start screen. At least in most rule sets. And also, if you don't know, this is just about using training mode effectively. I'm going to hold left, or hold right now, and then I press play again, and unless we start in the corner. That's just another good thing to know. So where were we? So Eliza round start. Eliza just has a pretty typical round start. Like, you know, a lot of people try to cheese and do this round start, but if you do that, I think you're just a total fucking scrub. Like, yeah, it's hard to punish, but you're giving up, like, all your screen positioning. Like, because at the very least, to cover that so you don't just lose a lot of neutral ground is you need to call an assist, and then you've just, like, lost an assist because you, like, it's insane to, like, to confirm this. Right? Like, confirming this, like, round start's, like, a pain in the ass. Like, I don't even remember how you do it. Is it that? Yeah, I don't even remember. Is it just... I don't even remember. But yeah, like, so... But yeah, so, like, round start, I really think that you can just, like, people think about round start as, like, set play too much, and, like, you just gotta play, like, solid, right? So, like, if you, like, want to go in, just go in, right? Like, just go in, just, like, this is a really good spacing move, right? So, like, look how much space that covers, right? So, like, but again, like, that comes with the inherent things, but you just gotta play solid. Like, good round starts, like, there's no, like, gimmicks, really, that, like, will just win the game for you, right? Like, I think because Eliza's a character with an air dash, like, you just gotta play solid. And, like, her dash speed isn't that bad, it's just, like, kind of, the startup's, like, awkward, but, like, you know, like, just moving well, I think, is a good round start, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think you gotta, like, overthink it and, like, try to come up with some gimmick. Like, you know, if you really want to, and again, I'm just resetting a lot so that we can get the, like, precise distance, because, like, yeah, this'll work, right? Like, and if they're backing up, right, then this'll work, and this'll catch them, or at least make them block, and then you can start doing your, you know, you can start doing this and that, and then, you know. But, like, I didn't realize she has a very different heights between her forwards and backwards air dash. But yeah, like, I think you just gotta move well. I think that's the best round start for Eliza, just, like, good movement. If you have big screen clearing assists, then that obviously makes it a lot easier to, like, go forward, which is what you want to do because Eliza pressure is, like, really good. But, like, I don't really think that that you gotta think too hard about it. I think you just gotta have a good, like, just apply your fundamentals the best you can. That's the best round start for most characters that aren't named Peacock or Squiggly. But yeah, I mean, your neutral buttons are this for shorter range, this for slightly longer range, this if you're really trying to space out, and this. Never underestimate this, right? Like, that's always so good. Her air grab's so good because it's so far below her, and so it's, like, it's really hard to trade with her out of it. So yeah, like, I really don't think, like, you know, if you have some hard read, you can do this or something, but, like, you know, or what the fuck is it? You know, you can do some, like, stupid shit, but, like, I think just playing solid's, like, a good strategy. Yeah, like, there's this. This is good if you, like, expect a jump in, right? So, like, if you just want a down back round start, which is totally valid, right? Like, Parasols like to jump at you, and you just want to do this, or like you just want to do this, and you just want to do, like, this into this. Like, that's totally valid. You know what I mean? Or if you even want to, like, jam Ophelia, right? So you want to dash up, do that. That's pretty good too. But that's just, like, a general anti-air technique. That's not an Eliza thing. You know, like, fucking Philia Fuku would do that too, which is jump up, stand fierce. Or run up, stand fierce. So that's how I think of it. I really don't think Eliza, like, needs to do some crazy gimmick round start. I think I saw a question. List off the stages of learning a team. Again, I think that's a pretty it's not don't be bad, it's rely on fundamentals, don't rely on gimmicks. There are certain characters that have, like, gimmick round starts that can work, right? Big Band, you know, if you just do a hard read A trade, you can really get some momentum going if you have the right team. You know, like, Peacock has to actually, like, think a little bit differently about round start because her options are a little bit more limited, or, like, a little bit more rock paper scissory, but, you know, most of them end up in a decent spot for her. Like, Parasol, like, has the gimmick of the crouch medium punch, but it still like works. But she still like plays just like, okay, space your buttons, you know. And I think that's what you want to do with Eliza. You want to space your buttons. You don't want to just go for some weird ass special that like will cheese someone, because most of the time it doesn't work. She doesn't really have the buttons to do that, you know. Like I said, like Squiggly, like sometimes maybe you want to SBO, but I still think it's a terrible idea like 99% of the time. It's that sort of shit, you know. Again, like if you really want to gimmick, go for HDP. That's your gimmick. That's your gimmick round start. Otherwise, like just consider the situation and move and like move. Movements like important round start, not necessarily buttons. Is what I'll say. And again, for the stages of learning a team, I'll go over that later because that's a kind of more involved question. So just remind me at the end of the stream, and I'll go over that. I think there was another question. How to punish A-Train and Fortune lasers as Painwheel? Bayo's gimmick round starts neutral jump, hard punch. It's not a gimmick, that's just how he plays. Like, I really don't like SG. SG has no neutral, that's why you don't like it. Like, dead ass. Okay, so, Painwheel. Actually, let's do, whoops, I do not remember the shortcut for this. Sorry, you guys have to hear this fucking nonsense noise a million times. Where's Mango Sentinel? Oh, I don't remember. So what did they want from A-Train? Which one do I like? What's a good big man color? Yeah, we'll do red Q. And what is it? Fortune lasers? Yeah, let's do fusion suit. That's a good one. So how to deal? So like A-Train, if you're getting like A-Train because you're flying, right? So if Big Man does, shit. So like, what you need to understand is that Big Man A-Train will, medium A-Train will catch you on the way up, right? So like, if you're in the start of a fly or if you're jumping, and the hitbox of medium A-Train is like connects with you, it'll just scoop you, right? But if you're further away, all you have to do is unfly. So you see the inputs. You know, the same Marvel, you don't have to get hit for this or anything. You just have to press 2 punches, you unfly. What you don't want to do, and so why you do this instead of just like hitting a button and blocking out of it is because you're still in a hittable state, and A-Train has armor, right? So like A-Train will scoop you there. But if you do this, you can block immediately. So I like really never do recordings in training mode, so this is gonna be a fucking travesty. But let's try and do this right now. Select button, tell me record, playback. Once. Okay, how the fuck does this work? Okay. Oh, I actually should have done a. Whoops. Yeah, I should do like a warning. Whoops, gotta hold it, right? Yeah. Whoops, fucking Christ, I'm really bad at this, guys. So you see, I never do this. Okay. So we do. Okay, there we go. That's a good thing. So we're here, right? We get scooped. Shocker. But then. Actually, let's do this also. So then, like, we're here, and we're like trying to charge this in face. Sorry, like the timing's weird, but here we try to charge this in face. Most of the time, if you're doing something like this, you'll get scooped. Right? I'm trying to do this, it gets hit. So what you can do is if you see it, especially like if you're further away, right? Right? You see it coming, you just do that. And you can block, especially like H-Brass, like full screen H-Brasses, you just do that. Now, like, punishing depends on the spacing, right? So, like, if you actually block, right, you can get you can actually get a combo. But if you're, you know, at tip range, You know, it's kind of hard, especially as Pain Wheel. But like he's still minus his shit at that point, and so like you just start going for it. You know. You just start going because like he's lost all initiative there if there's no assist backing him up. So yeah, that's typically how you deal with it. It's just unfly. So just remember unfly, and also like you can be too far away for him. Like you can just be too far away and just go for it, right? Like that's also the thing. Like if you see him like, whoops, that. So like if you see him trying to snipe that out, right? So like you're going in and he's just A-training you on reaction. That means you're being predictable as shit. A-train is like a hard read move. Like if he's getting reaction A-trains, you're really fucking up. So you can just be too far away and then like go for it. You know what I mean? Like you can even just like whoop. You know, you can just like try to fall earlier so that he has to like commit to something, because then you could just block brass also. But yeah, like Big Man's not hard to deal with as Pain Wheel. If you're doing A-Train, it just means you're pressing buttons when he has the ability to A-Train, and that's not what you should be doing. What you should be doing is approaching a little bit more, so like keeping your space, make him commit something, and then you can start, you know, going in, doing your shit. But like other than that, you like he shouldn't be allowed to A-Train against you without it being like a super hard read. So if you're getting scooped a lot, just don't be pressing buttons in his face so much. And remember, reaction unfly. That's not unfly. Reaction unfly. God, unflying's annoying sometimes. And then fortune lasers. So like, fortune actually is a hard-ass time dealing with Pain Wheel because you can just do this. Like, this is the answer. Because fortune lasers, I think, are technically minus on hit, full screen. Let me check. Okay. Yeah, like you see that? So like she doesn't have meaningful advantage here, especially, and like if you block it, like way less so. See? So like if you block this shit, just like, you know, you're out, like, because she really can't beam you then. Like, because, like, what's she gonna do here? She has to jump, and you can just keep holding up. So, like, if you see this? See how the screen goes up? Because I'm holding up when she's jumping. So you can just always be above her. Like, what beam height's gonna hit you there? So you just do this. You force her to jump. You force her to jump beam. Jump beams are really fucking laggy if they don't hit anything, and then it's like, you just go for it. If you're full screen and like she's really doing like these TK beam things, it's hard for you to get off the ground. You just have to hold your dome a little bit. So I just wait, block out of beams. If they're doing like TK, you know, double TK beams and stuff, and like it's hard for you to jump, just don't jump as predictably. Wait for her to whiff something, right? Because she like whiffs a jump medium beam, right? A TKM beam or TKH beam. You're able to like just like either walk forward because Pain Wheel's really low to the ground when she does this shit, or like you just wait it out, and then when she lands, like just jump, and then you're flying, and then you got what you wanted. I know it's like kind of a reductive term to put it in, but I really think Pain Wheel's pretty good in that matchup. Like it's really hard for like Robo Fortune, and then a smart Robo Fortune will then start gathering heads to kind of like, because if you really give her too much time, she'll triple head, she'll do missiles you, right? She'll go hidden missiles, but like getting a three heads hidden missiles is like impossible. Like you're giving her way too much space if you're doing that. But like she'll start going ram, she'll start throwing mines, so you can't really approach her like you want to. And at that point, like you just have to go in a little bit more. But if she's doing that, she's not throwing beams at you, right? So that's the push and pull of the matchup, and that's the push and pull of most Fortune matchups, right? Is if you can deal with the zoning, then she's gonna start trying to set up on you, but then she's not zoning you out, so you go in, and that's kind of the push and pull that you want to go for there. And typically, I think in most matchups, like in general, Robo Fortune's like unfavored. I feel like I said Misfortune a couple times there, forgive me. But like I feel like in most matchups that push and pull is like not in Robo Fortune's favor, but especially one with like this much mobility like over the entire screen. Like it's not just like, oh, like you can move. And like but it's like yeah, like you can just like fucking fly around and like dodge all her shit and then go fucking crazy. Again, like unless they're like really like TK beamed out of their mind, it's really hard for Robo Fortune to deal with you, even with zoning assists. Okay. I've been trying out Fuqua. I have lots of resets, but I'm hardly consistent. What are practical resets you can recommend? there's a lot of videos of me playing online. There's a lot of videos of JP playing online. Those are the resets that I would recommend you do. Yeah, there's like a lot. You can just like look at any of my games playing. But since I'm here, shit, I've clicked play again instead of change character. Whoops. But whoops. You want to see some of the resets I do? Probably should. Most Fuku. So like, if you see people doing resets like these. Like, that's just stupid. That was a combo, but you get what I mean. Don't do those. Those are bad. Because shadows double scale. Hard to show, but like... It's hard to show because I don't do these combos, but, God damn it. But, actually, this is a good way to show it. Alright, so this is a new combo. This is a fresh new combo. Ah, fuck. I forgot it doesn't show immediately. Why is it not showing the scaling? That's so weird. You see how scaled that combo is already? So, one, combos will start your combo in stage 3, right? There's just no way around it. A shadow will start your combo in combo stage 3. So you're already gaining on Dizzy. And then shadows, each shadow scales. So the first shadow will scale your combo to 75%, the second one to 45%, and the third one to 33% if you have been doing them. So, and shadows retain the scaling from when they're summoned. So you do this. This is maintained as the 45% or the 60% combo starter. So like this will double scale your combo for no reason, which isn't great. So like shadows resetting with shadows isn't the best idea. Like they're stronger, but like a lot of times they're reactable. Honestly, like people just aren't used to seeing them because they're like fake cross up or whatever, but they're reactable if you know what you're looking at. So they're good at gimmicks, but resetting with a shadow isn't good. Resetting off a shadow is typically better because they leave you in these nice little like float states. So off of medium or light shadow, this is a 50-50. This is a pretty strong 50-50 in my opinion. Alright, so you can get that, or you can and it's really hard to reversal out of that because it's a landing reset. This one works too, but it's a little bit more seeable just because of and you can do it like that too, but right, this is a little more seeable, but it's a little bit slower, so it's easier to see. On top of that, just any restand, right? You actually land before they do. So this is very hard to mash out of, especially if you do it with Fierce Roundhouse, Jump Fierce Roundhouse. Like, you see you land before them, so you can actually get a pretty good... Again, that's like your most standard restand 50-50, but it's still super good. Other ones are... also... Roundhouse Fierce is her burst bait in the air, red or green. Other ones are... This one's mine, but like, this is hard to do if you don't have light beat extend. It's that. That's the only time I reset with a shadow because that's just so hard to block and it's unreactable. So like that is like I think one of my strongest resets, but that's the only time I'll really break the rule and reset with a shadow. Or if I'm like really just desperate to trick someone one time, I'll do that because that's cross up low, but like that's a complete gimmick. You can see that I'm doing super jump light punch. There's no visual mix up to anything. It's just you haven't seen it before. So if I'm really desperate to get a one-time reset on someone, but yeah, I just go for low throw. If you really want to, you this. So off of also just to note, you can't do the really insane shit because you see how that pushes away. That doesn't normally happen. Normally, it pulls it towards and scoops you up a little, but off of M Shadow, it pushes away, and it's because Fuku actually got insane resets. to my knowledge, this hasn't been patched out, but there is a 1 frame window. I think it's like the frame that you are released from the shadow, where the behavior will actually just still be normal, where it'll actually drag you back. If anyone can consistently hit that 1 frame, Fukuoka goes from being like one of the worst characters in the game to like one of the best, like instantly. So if anyone can consistently do that, go for that. But it's a 1 frame, character dependent, no visual, like you just have to have a muscle memory 1 frame timing for something. But if you can do that, like Fukuoka goes like back to being like one of the best characters in the game, bar none. But this is good too. So off of like you can do this off restands too, right? Low there. That's mashable. That is mashable because you're actually right. You're going through all the recovery. This isn't a cancel, so you're going through all the recovery of this. So you're +2, but this is 7 frame startup. So you know there's 5 frames of the reversal. You can get invincibility in 5 frames, right? There's things with invincible frame 1. But so if you're really desperate for a low, since that is a cancel, that isn't mashable, but you have to manually time that a little bit with the character's fall timing so that it doesn't just hit them, because if it hits them in the air, then you've just hit them with the same side mid, right? So if they're blocking at all, you're done. This you don't have to time. But obviously that's mashable as fuck too, because the startup on that's insane. Like there's just so much startup on that. And then obviously. But what do you notice the problem with all of these are? All of these are either shadows or a grab, except for the more dangerous low. So what does that mean? Is that all of these are really scaled. And all these and again, all these will start you in stage 3. Or in the case of this one, it starts you in stage 3 and you need to use a meter. So just be careful about that. One thing that I've been doing a lot, especially at higher end Dizzy, because resets are about managing on Dizzy, is you do this. And if like they're at a lot of Undizzy, that's a safe jump with a ridiculous timing, right? So like that came all the way out. Like I just did it a little early. Like so that's actually impossible to react to, especially if I did the timing of that a little slow, but like you can make that the first hit impossible to react to. Yes, it'll be absolute guardable the second hit, but like whatever, the first hit can be a safe jump that's completely unreactable. So do with that what you will. The only reliable setup I've found for those off the crumple. So like you're giving up all your post BFF damage for it. So, but if you're at high end Dizzy, then that's a good place to do it. Yeah, Fukuoka resets are like decent. They're not much better than other characters' resets in my opinion, to be honest. Like I think Parasol, like double Cerebella, they all have like as good resets as her, if not better in a lot of cases. And of course there's Bale, you know, it's just straight 33s that you can't reversal out of. Alright. How to find good reset points in your combos. Oh man. This is a really big topic. Because this is the game of Skullgirls. This is a set play, is good reset points. So, in 2020, good Skullgirls play, beyond just like not dropping your combos and having good resets, or finding good places to do them. Because, for those of you that don't know, being at full on Dizzy actually scales your combo damage below minimum scaling. So, you know, you see how, like... So that did 1408. And then I think... See, that does 2500, right? So resetting at max on Dizzy is really bad. So, and also, if your character... If a character is at full on Dizzy, it takes longer for them to get out of it, right? You have to actually... So, like, typically... That goes away pretty fast. But... It takes a few frames longer. I think it's like 10. I don't know the exact number. Check the patch notes if you really want to. Did I bruise my neck? Why does this hurt? Ow. Sorry about that. I think there's like a bruise on my neck. I must have fallen. So full and dizzy is gonna scale your damage, and you have to do elusive resets to get it lower. So letting someone hit full and dizzy before you're ready to kill them is a bad idea. So good set play in 2020 Skullgirls is all about managing undizzy versus your damage output. So like for instance, this. I reset here. I use about half of my undizzy. It's not great, but it's like the best I can do with how bad my hit confirmability is. Typically, like I'd want to go like, but then like, see here? That's way better. Fukuwa stinks, non-profit. I don't know what that means. So that's typically how I want to think about it. And then again, looser resets will drain more undizzy. So like, see that? I can reset, I can make that 15 on Dizzy drain away. Especially if I reset, if I do the jab higher versus if I do that, I can get it to even combo. So like, you can loosen up your timing a little bit to let Undizzy drain also. So it's just about knowing how much damage you can get after your reset, right? So like if you reset low, you get more damage than if you reset with a throw, right? So thinking about how many more resets you have to do to your opponent versus how much Undizzy you have left to work with before you start just doing no damage to them, and you have to essentially like make them burst or just hit them a million fucking times is like how you find good reset points. If you're talking about making your own resets, you just gotta get better at the game. I don't think like anyone who's not like who doesn't have a good handle on the game can come up with really good resets. You've seen so many people like come in, they've played the game for like a month, they come up with like, oh my god, check out my unique reset, it's fucking trash. Like, you know, if you're to the point where you need better resets, then you need to just get good enough to be able to like have the intuition about the game to make them, I think. I don't think, but for the most part, most characters have enough like set play out there that's shown to be tournament viable that you can just copy other people, and then it's just about playing good neutral and applying it well. Most characters, not all, but yeah, it's like obviously like reset points, restands are always good, but they come with the inherent mashability of them, and then you always just want to do, you see, get them out of hit stun right before they land. Hard to reversal. If they don't have an air super, you know, if they're not Philia, they're not Painwheel, they're not in very certain cases Valentine or Misfortune, can't do anything. Like Parasol can't do anything about that without a perfectly timed pillar. And for the most part, you can just vary when they land then, right? Oh god, they landed like a couple frames later, that you can't pillar then. So, you know, Eliza can't do anything about that either, especially because she has a bad DP, because it's grab vulnerable. So that's typically how you want to do it. Like, you want to see the same thing with Big Band? It's like the same thing. Hard to you almost can't reversal that, right? Everything else is character specific, and it's just character familiarity. Hi, the blinded fish. It's going all right. We're just chilling out here. So yeah, like reset points in your combos is just about not doing too much of the combo yet, and also not using the buttons you need for your reset. But I think that should be intuitively obvious. It's just not doing too much of your combo, so you're using too much Undizzy. So like again, think of what resources you have, right? Like you have like for Big Band, right? It's like, do you want it? I can use OTG, and it leads into like, you know, the damaging part of his combo for the most part. But I can use OTG as a resource for my reset too, right? And that's a restand reset there. That's a landing restand reset. Or like, also think about you can do your kind of combo strings out of order. Or think about like when most of your damage comes in your combo, right? Typically it's like after your multi-hits, right? Because you're at max scaling, so you're cashing out your multi-hits, right? For Big Man, that typically manifests in him using his sound stun, right? Or something like that, is when you're cashing out your damage, especially with beat extend, right? That's so many hits, that's a lot of damage. That's 2,000 damage unscaled, and that's a multi-hit move, right? So like, you're not getting a lot more damage after that, right? For your ratio of damage to Undizzy is really low because you're at minimum scaling here, right? So every hit after that's going to be doing as little damage as possible. So that's a good part to reset at, because like now your damage gains go up again. It's just like that. That's kind of how you have to think about it. It's like, how much of my scaling have I used? How much Undizzy have I used? What buttons do I have left? And then like obviously what are the resets that my character has available to him? those are the kind of things you need to think of, but, like, finding them is just about experience. I think it's just about playing. Luckily, that's something that you can kind of do in the lab, but it's annoying without seeing the health totals go down in real time. So just play a lot of games, and you'll see, like, oh, if I start doing resets in this order, like, I actually kill them a lot faster, or I tend to kill them more consistently. And that's how your set play manifests. When I started going to locals, that's kind of when I started making, like, my set play, because I just started doing resets in the same order. That's why you see most players do their resets in the same order, and, like, that's what we talk about Skullgirls set play, is because they see, like, okay, I know how much damage I can do here to give them the least amount of opportunities, and that's how we optimize set play in Skullgirls. Yeah, sorry that, like, that's a really broad topic, so I can't really go into specifics all that much. It's very vague, and it's very, like, subjective also, because it's like, well, I feel comfortable going for this, or I feel like I can trick them with this reset. It's not something that, like, there's really hard and fast rules about, unfortunately. It's all about, like, that, but that's playing the game. That's, like, how you actually play the fucking game, so, you know, that's what it is. Other than that, hello, Star Variant. How's it going? Other than that, I don't know. Are there any more questions? How to find good reset point? No, that's, let me check the Discord channel to see if there's anything, that people, no. So if there's no more questions, right? There's no more questions in the chat. I don't think I missed anything. Yeah, I don't think I missed anything. So if there's no more questions, I think that's, we'll call, oh, never mind, there's a question. Although I assume this will be a troll question. But go ahead, Dr. Doc, PhD, Mr. Dr. Professor Patrick. Deadass, what do these stars mean? Are these subscribers? Oh, that's cool. 1 month subscriber. I guess that's just the default if you don't have a sub icon. That's pretty cool. Thank you for supporting the stream, all y'all who are subscribed to this channel. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we'll wait for this person's question. But other than that, if you have questions, you know, now's the time. If you have anything, you know, as specific or as general as you want, now's the time to ask. If you don't feel like asking in public, you know, feel free to DM me after the stream. I'll do my best to answer any questions that you have. I find I can block pretty well most of the time, but I have trouble taking my turn, so to say. How do you figure out when to end an offense, especially if you're unfamiliar with it? Do you mean this in context if you're being the attacker or you're the defender? Because the answer kind of differs, although it's like different sides of the same coin. But, okay, defender. Let me think how to phrase this. I wish I was just, like, playing games so I could, like, show you guys, but QM's kind of trash. So, is there anyone on? I control. Well, that should be a decent person to play. But I don't want to ask him to, like, play on stream if he doesn't want to. That's, like, not very nice. Oh, this album has looped. Hold on. Let me put on some different music. Here's what I want to listen to. You can demonstrate against me if you want. Like, it's hard to do without a VOD, but like I wish I could like play the VOD of a game back and show you, because it's like the actual best way. Because like doing this in training mode just makes it sound like I'm talking out of my ass, because like I'm manufacturing situations where this works. I wish I could like play a game and then like play the VOD back and show you, but let me think of how to demonstrate this then. So the simple answer is you PBGC reversal. Like, so someone's like barreling down at you. I'm sorry that this is just gonna be. I mean, I can play you, but like this isn't. It won't help because I can't like explain what's happening as I'm playing you. Like I'd have to play you and then like go over the VOD of it, which would take like way too fucking long. So I'm just gonna, you're gonna have to visualize this because I'm really like not gonna be able to like show this with my hands right now. Like, I'm really not gonna be able to show you this in training mode. It's just too annoying because, like, I can have the bot do the same fucking block string over and over. I can have, like, Parasol do the fucking super annoying to deal with big band block string. But, like, that doesn't show because that's not, like, what like, actual pressure in a Skullgirls game looks like. At least it shouldn't. If they're doing that, then you have, you know, you can just, there's a gap. You can just SSJ that. But, so, like, I'm sorry. This is gonna just be you guys staring at this fucking big band idle animation for a little bit. So the easiest answer is when you're defending in Skullgirls, like 99% of the time, you're going to want to push block as early as possible. And that's because you want to get your PB... One, it'll typically end blocks done earlier. Of course, like if there's true stringing, then, you know... But it can create gaps. But also you get your PBG window as early as possible, which means they have to fucking stop, right? Because they have to respect it. You know, So if I'm blocking someone who's big band, I'm push blocking super early. Reversal SSJ is on the table super fast, and if they don't have a built-in bait for it, then, like, they just have to stop pressuring me because they're gonna get fucking hit, right? So, and so, like, push blocking early is the best way. A lot of times, too, just making sure you're absolute guarding, obviously, that's kind of, so, that, I'm assuming you can absolute guard, right? Because that has to be. So, like, if you're push blocking, you're absolute guarding, so, like, you're not getting opened up. But that's just a mechanical thing. That's just an execution thing, but you should be able to do it. Absolute guard is when, during your push block animation, you know, when they're actually doing the pushing, you're locked into that animation, right? So, but during that time, the push block animation will hold whatever guard level that you're in. So, right, if you're low, if you're down backing, right, and you push block, that entire animation you'll be blocking low. So then during that animation, you can also hold just straight back, and you'll also be blocking high. And so during the push block animation, you can block high and low simultaneously. And so the vice versa is true. So if you're push blocking high, you can down back during the animation, and you're blocking low. So during a push block also, it keeps you from getting opened up if there's, you know, midstring mix-ups. But that's just an execution thing that, rich defensive mechanics, don't make me laugh. But that's just an execution. Like, you should do that every time you push block, you should absolute guard, right? And, like, I am guilty enough of not doing it. It can be hard sometimes, especially against faster stuff, because you need to do it as soon as possible. It's not like, oh, I'm push blocking, now I absolute guard. It's like, I'm push blocking, I immediately switch my block. So you do that, you push block as early as possible so you can threaten with an invincible reversal, right? Because if you have an invincible reversal, you know, if people are stringing you, if they're doing pressure on you, that means they can't grab you, right? Because you're in block stun. So a grab vulnerable reversal is still good here. So PBG seeing any reversal that's grab vulnerable is still fine. So, you know, you have your invincible reversal or invincible move on the table for as soon as possible, which makes them have to respect you. Obviously, good players, they have ways to work around this so that they don't get bopped, right? That's why, like, you still see block strings even though, like, PBGCs exist. Otherwise, like, people just would only go for, like, one-hit open-ups, or first-hit open-ups, rather. So obviously, like, this isn't, like, hard and fast, and obviously it takes time to get to your PBGC window, so it's not just like, oh, they jab me and, like, they can't press any other button. That's not how that works. But that's the best way to threaten it. Then also, like, making sure that when you're push blocking in a good rhythm, that'll maximize the distance that pushes them away. So, like, on Parasol, right, you don't really want to push block her the late frames of the jump fierce, so she's coming in jump jab jump fierce. You want to push block either immediately the jump jab so that she's at, like, a weird spacing for her grounded string, or you want to, like, just space off when she gets to her grounded string, right? You want to push block, like, her I don't know, crouch short, right? Then you push block that, she's, like, far away, and then it's hard for her to get back in. Now, that's when assists come in. So assists at that point are what used to kind of reset block strings, right? So someone goes light, medium, heavy, special with assist, right? And you didn't PBGC them. Well, now push blocking the assist doesn't get them any more away from you. It can threaten a PBGC window when they come back in, but now they get to come back at you, and this is typically when a mix-up can occur, right? So, like, this is why Butcher's Blade still sees use, is that, you do your string, you call Butcher's Blade, you can't really push block it, because it's not going to push them away, and then they can come at you with, like, an empty jump setup, right? So, like, they can do jump in, or they can do empty jump low. And that you kind of have to block, again, unless you're going to PBGC window that, which is a viable strategy. But that's typically how you do it. It's just good application of push blocking and knowing when you can reversal. Because again, if someone's just blocking really lazily, then if someone's like doing strings really lazily, then you're just gonna push block them, and they're gonna be pushed away from you. And at that point, it's just not being afraid. It's like, oh my god, they were touching me. But if you push block them away, you need to not be afraid to press buttons that aren't just reversals too, because like then you're gonna feel like you're just in a 50-50 every time you get touched. Which isn't always the case. So if you want to be able to kind of maintain your composure, being like, okay, I push block them away from me, their string has to end, they still have position on me because like my back's to the corner, and they're like, they're Parasol, they're Eliza or whatever, but I'm able to like jump, right? I'm able to maybe double jump, maybe like jump and get a button out, maybe do a defensive air grab or something like that, right? So that's kind of when the getting them out of your face opens up like options to you, and then you're playing the game, right? Then there's no more set play there, or there's less set play. It's less rigid. Like then you're actually just you're playing neutral again. But like, so taking your turn back isn't just like, oh, they did light, medium, heavy, special, now they're minus and it's my turn, right? Like even Dragon Ball, which has a more kind of strict block string structure, doesn't even have that, right? Because like that's just useless. So, like, taking your turn back is just knowing when they fuck up. And that's just playing a lot of fucking games, right? So it's like, oh shit, this Fukuwa tried to block string into low shadow. I'm going to up forward and now it's my turn, right? That's taking your turn back in a classic sense. Or like, oh, this big band ended his string in A train because he missed a hit confirm, right? Now I get the punish. Parasol ended her string in light tier. All right, well, like, did I push block correctly? No. Okay, then I still have to hold it. It's still her turn. It's all this shit. That's the give and take. And again, like, some characters deal with it better than others, right? Like, so if you're against Eliza, you're against Beowulf, you're gonna have to like land cancel a string a lot of times instead of just push blocking because they deal with push block really well. As opposed to someone like Double, someone like Painwheel, they don't deal with push block very well, and you can just kind of get out by push blocking, well. Again, sorry, like I can't give you a visual example of this, but like there's no way to really do it with recordings. Like I need to be like playing someone to like show you this, because this is push blocking punishable. What do you mean punishable? Push blocking makes your block stun be for set amount of time, not counting for block stop and hit stop. But I think it's just called block stop actually. So not counting like the lag frames of the move hitting you. If I'm Bayo, someone push blocks me, could I arm them? No, because they're still blocking. I mean, you could arm them, but you're gonna get punished. Like push blocking makes your block stun be for a set amount of time, right? Which is the length of the push block animation. So if it's a move with long block stun, and you push block it early, then you'll decrease the actual total block stun, because the block stun of that long move will be the block stun of actually just the push block. But if you push block a jab, right, then you'll actually be in block stun for longer, and you'll be more minus because that move doesn't have a lot of block stun, and you're replacing it with the push block stun, and things like that. So that's how push blocking works. But that's just like a general thing of push blocking, but you're still in block stun, like you're still able to block, right? There's no guard breaks in this game, right? Yeah, there's no guard breaks in this game, so there is an unblockable setup, but it costs 2 meter and it's team specific. So if you're dealing with that, then you just have to deal with that player. But yeah, so like if you're blocking, you can always block the next thing. It's whether or not you're blocking correctly, right? And obviously they can just run up grab you, and you can't block that, but then you just up back that or grab tech or do whatever you do. Yeah. So I know that's again like super broad, super high level, and like really abstract. Like, and again, if you have like a video of you playing that you kind of want me to go over, we can do that. Maybe not right now, but at a later date. But it's just hard. I don't think training mode's a good place to like learn that. I think that's something that you need to learn just by playing. Training mode's good for combos, good for resets, good for labbing very specific situations, like defensive situations, like, oh, how do I deal with this jump in, this specific block string, this like setup. But it's not good for like, how do I improve my defense? How do I like play neutral, right? Because those are things where you have to actually play the other person. That's not just like a set character interaction. Because again, like someone could just stop block stringing you, and then like you go to do some like defensive air grab, and they just bop you for it, right? So, but that's just playing neutral at that point. That's just playing the game. Those are the parts of the game that I actually do enjoy, because you're like actually doing things that aren't completely set. Yeah. So, does anyone else have any questions? Think I've answered all the questions people have had, right? I don't, if I missed any, my apologies. Just remind me if you had a question that I didn't answer. I'll answer it right now. Or if you have a new question, feel free to do it. Feel free to put it in. But so we'll just give that a minute, because I know there's like some stream delay. But if not, we'll wrap it up if I don't see any in the next minute or so. Yep, I see the viewers dropping off. I don't think there's any more questions. Let me just check the Discord real quick. The Get Great Discord. Oh, someone wanted to first to 3 me afterwards. I mean, yeah, if you want to play after the stream, very Neanth, I don't know who that is. Yeah, if you want to play after the stream, feel free to just ask me. We can play. But other than that, I don't see any more questions. So, it hasn't been a full minute though. I said I'd give it a minute. Give it a full minute. Although I don't think the stream delay is that bad that any questions wouldn't have come in by now. But I said I'd give it a full minute, so I will. But yeah, other than that, this has been the Get Great Questions chat. If you have any questions, I think Crank has incorporated them into signups. So I think that's how you answer it. I'm not sure, honestly. But if you have questions, post them wherever you want. Someone will get to them either on the stream, directly messaging you. If you have questions for me, you can just @ me on Discord, on Steam. Just ask. I'll do my best to help you out. If you want to play, we can play. Like, it's not that big a deal. Yeah. Other than that, my name's Kenji. Some of you might know me as Show You Ramen. And thanks for watching.